All right, what's up, y'all? Um, I'm finna tell you something. I forgot just that fast. Yeah. So skip last week, obviously, with the live stream, but I had a good reason. I was tired. So, but moving forward, I'm gonna make sure that we do them. Like I said, sometimes it just depends on who come through. Sometimes other stuff be going on. Last week, honestly, I was tired, but just to be truthfully, just to be honest, it wasn't nothing going on last week for real. This week, everything going on. So we have three good topics we're going to talk about. Now, if you didn't get a chance to see this week's episode, I'm going to talk about with them my two guests today, which I haven't had two guests on here on the live stream in a minute. But if you haven't gotten a chance to see this past week's episode, which was so many gems, we had to split it into two parts. And it is how Dr. Justin Kernutt exposed the Big Pharma's deception, Ozempic, and something with a health revolution, a health, something like that, holistic health. So we had split it into two parts. But again, we talked a lot about Ozempic this week, and that's a big craze now. So before we get to doing too much, let me go ahead and introduce my guest. Matter of fact, let me go live on Instagram because I'm not live on Instagram. Now I'm live on Instagram. So let me go ahead and introduce my two guests and let's get it going. What's up, y'all?
What's the vibes?
Damn, I was muted. What's goody? What's the deal?
Okay, so we're gonna start with they both named K. So we're just gonna start with yellow, and then we're gonna go to the other one.
I'm crying.
Introduce yourself, where you from, all that good stuff.
What's up, man? Kirk, KB, whatever you want to call me. One half of the visual vixen, I have this friend podcast. His face. I have this friend podcast from Houston, Texas. And that's it. That's all you get.
Okay.
Type shit up next.
Yeah, you the only one here.
Hey man, I ain't got no damn my thing messing up. But anyway, it's the other half of the I Had a Spread podcast. We on 10, we on this motherfucking live chat. You know how we coming. We're gonna talk about some house shit. We don't know, we're gonna put in a different bag. Cause we like to bust jokes and not be serious, but I feel like Izzy gonna get us right. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to provide the energy. You feel me?
Okay, now remember with the live stream for Monday, we take stuff that is going on and we add some substance to it, but it's still going to be a lot of laughs because the stuff I got this week is purely joked out. So I'm trying to figure out who is the echo. I think it's and there we go. You're back. I don't know what's going on with this mic. It kept it unplugged. I don't know. We got to get that figured out. But anyway, we got a few things we got to talk about. So the first thing we're going to talk about, I'm going to share my screen. So we're talking about Chingy, STL finest. Everybody knows Chingy.
Right there.
And so if y'all didn't know, he recently went on TMZ to discuss some things that happened some many years ago when the transsexual Sidney Starr said that they had a situation, which it then came out that Sidney lied. But before we get into that video, I have to ask this. So, did either one of you get a chance to check out this past week's episode of PSA with Dr. Justin Kernutt?
Yeah, the boy was talking about snake venom and all kind of stuff. That was crazy when he was saying that a lot of the pharmaceuticals and stuff was like made from like snake venom, and then they tried to like recreate it by like that shit was wow. But yeah, it was interesting though.
I'm also, here to be put on. Put me.
You said what?
I said I need education on the topic, on the matter.
So basically, we just talked about Dr. Justin was Dr. Kernutt. He was in the pharmacy industry, did all that pharmacy school, was in the pharmacy industry for 3 years, and realized that they really weren't trying to help people, and how he did something where he would like get people off of medicines because the doctors get a kickback from their medicine that they put you on.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was talking about a bunch of different stuff. He was talking about one thing in specific. He was talking about where he talked about how like he had a patient, he got them from 7 medicines to 1 or 2, and he got in trouble with his job because they said, that's great that you helping them, but we got a quota to meet.
Yeah, that money got to be made, man.
So basically, that proves that they don't really care. They just trying to get their money, and talk about how people be on these medicines for 20 years. You ain't getting no better. They basically saying you ain't dead.
So
I mean,
what was his like approach? I know he's a holistic doctor. Like is he more into different kind of like herbs and remedies over like of course traditional medicine, right?
yeah, but he did say in that first part, because we still got to do the second part. But he did say in the first part that he was into like, he was saying like you should, if you go, there's nothing wrong with some of these vaccines and things, but he was saying like it should be 70-30, 70% holistic, 30%, Western,
Mhm.
or 80-20, 90-10. But he said it shouldn't be 50-50, which I agree, because I did ask the question, which was the cliffhanger, is going to be answered this week. Well, what's your take to people who will have tried me? They'll say, well, you ain't doing that, but you're going to go take an aspirin.
Yeah,
And they'll try to like, oh, you didn't go get the vaccine, but you take aspirin. So, or they tried to put me on like oh, you didn't get the vaccine, but you took vaccines as a baby. And like I said in the episode, 1, we didn't know no better. And 2, even if that was, I was happy to do it, those vaccines been around for over hundreds of years.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
one that they just made out of thin air, it ain't.
And,
So
and then they try to kind of play this because they made us take that shit to go to school. Like we had to do it. It was no like I don't remember. Like I need to ask my parents. Like, could you opt out that shit? Could you be like, oh no, because of religion
you
or whatever?
can.
Yeah, I didn't. But I guess when we was kids, for us, it was just like shit. You take it and you take your
Yeah.
ass to school.
Yeah,
That's
because
it.
we just
Hold
didn't know
up,
no better.
don't you need the chickenpox vaccination for certain kids? Like you gonna infect other kids?
That's
The
what they
thing,
say.
right. So the thing with
That's what they
that
say.
is,
Nigga, we seen it.
huh?
We seen other people get chickenpox when being around other kids.
But you have an immune system. So that's the thing. So that's the point. So that's why they saying they make you get these things that you really don't have to get, because I have family friends that never took vaccines.
Yeah,
So they good. You know what I mean? So a lot of that stuff, it does put it in your system for you to fight it. And again, the chicken pox, all that stuff, it is what it is. But like these newer ones, it's kind of like, what we doing?
especially when it's like as you say, kind of created out of nowhere and it's not really tested. It's kind of just like, well, we think this shit gonna work because of XYZ, and we kind of.
It was a
I
throw.
think, like he said in the pod, he was like, "I'll let y'all be the guinea pigs." And
Yeah,
basically,
for sure.
yeah,
And talked about how all of these things that's out now, like Ozempic, and then he compared it to some when we was kid. Well, now before we was born, because I was born in '94, but it was something called the Fin diet in the '90s, where it was like Ozempic, like people was losing weight, people was having all these wonderful things happen to them, and then it came out years later that Fin diet was giving people cancer, arthritis, all types of stuff, which is why now the new craze is Ozempic, which I call it diabetes medicine because it's for diabetics, but
yeah,
people are using it to lose weight. And when they do it, and I said in the intro, I said what I said, you put it in your stomach and your stomach might explode. I said, I'm playing, but not really, because these people taking this Ozempic to lose weight, then you double the weight you gain back when you get off of it. In
yeah.
fine print, it says if you get on it, you can't get off, or you're not supposed to. And it's more harm than good. So
It's like when Subway was lying talking about you eat them footlongs that you're gonna get skinny.
You gonna lose weight.
Cap.
Shout out to this creepo Jared.
Don't shout him out. What are you shouting him out for?
Isn't he? He's still in jail, right?
He needs to
yeah,
be. Yeah, I think so.
I
he's
think
gonna
he's
be in
definitely
there
still in jail.
for a little while. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't want to tell too much about the episode. If y'all haven't watched it, go stream it. It's still on YouTube. They actually, I think, are TikTok. They're trying to shadow ban me on TikTok because none of those videos or clips are getting any views for real.
Because you black and you're trying to expose the system, man. That's why.
I know.
Ooh.
So it's doing good. It's doing decent on YouTube though. So it's cool on YouTube. But before I get too ahead of myself, so we have a clip we're gonna watch about Chingy again, talking about Sidney Starr and how Sidney Starr ruined his career and he gives his take on it. It's about 2-minute clip that I sped up so that I didn't get copyrighted. Life hack for those that ain't know.
Now, getting in this business and understanding all the BS that can come with this business, as far as untrue rumors and just how it be shady characters, whether they artists or executives in this business, and who can tend to try to derail your career and sabotage. Now, it's a lot of stuff that go with this stuff, and in that aspect, for us the shady business, I don't appreciate all that. You know what I mean? Before music and selling millions of records and having radio hits, I feel like I did a great deal with that.
All right, so you talk about the shady rumors, the false rumors, Sidney Starr. That's been well documented at this point.
When that happened, I lost a lot of stuff based off a lie, which was that was the most oddest thing I've ever seen. And man, people, when the individual apologized and it so-called went away, which it took years to blow away, man, ain't nothing good happened from that for me. I'm gonna tell you that. When an artist such as my caliber, who sold millions of records, was once one of the biggest artists in the world, they look at that different. If they not seeing you at these award shows all the time, on the radio all the time, they like, well, where's he at? What's wrong? But what was wrong was a lot of sabotaging and bull crap in this industry.
You guys never really made up, did you? Like, you accepted her apology, but you kind of kept it moving.
Yeah. There's to be honest with you, man, like, it was spilt milk, and I lost a lot from it. That person gained. I'm not gonna hold on to something. It is what it is. Apologize, cool. I'm going this way. Let that individual do their thing, and a lot of stuff, man. But that situation, that hurt my career. Like, I'm just gonna be honest about it. It really did. With that being said, what inspired New Beginners is I'm a guy who looks to nature for a lot of answers. And when I say that, just like the cycle of winter going into summer, and things die in the winter, but they be reborn in the spring, and you see it being vibrant, it's living again, but it's a constant process. So with human life, I go through things, you go through things, but guess what? It's gonna come a time where we're gonna be back vibrant and we're gonna be back going. And that's one of them times now. You know what I'm saying? For me. And so nature gives me inspiration. And so Friday on the 19th, I'm dropping New Beginnings, and it's a beautiful thing.
In 2024, where do you see hip hop?
All right. So let's go through the first segment for today, which is, what does this have to do with mental health? Now, just breaking down some things. Obviously, it's sad to see Chingy, basically his whole career was just tarnished because of a lie. And it's people out here who lie every day and nothing happened to them. But his whole career was just went down the drain. It's good to see he's back to new music. I can only imagine his mental health was, in shambles during that time. Because those rumors about messing with a trans came out about other people and it was true. But with him, that wasn't the case.
What's true about like Bobby Valentino?
I'm not saying names. I was not there. Just know that it was not true about
down. I want to sink the penis.
It was not true about the hometown hero, Chingy. So let's talk about mental health, and as far as from this angle, taking the situation and extracting it to our own personal selves. Have you ever been in a situation where somebody blatantly lied on you and everybody believed it?
Yes.
Keith, I want to hear your story first.
I'm gonna be real with you. These women be lying. They straight up lie on you, cheat on you, take advantage of you. But to be honest, I have had a woman depict the story to other people in a different than it actually happened. But you can't really do anything about it because it's kind of like your word versus hers. So that's the only time I've ever experienced somebody blatantly lying on me, besides like, when you were a kid and somebody said you broke something, of course. But I think as an adult, you do run into a lot of relationship type issues where people's story is different than what actually happened. So yes.
Okay, Kirk, what about you?
Yeah, man. Third grade. I remember it's like it was yesterday. Jeremy Garcia lied on me, say I spit on him and I didn't. And I body slammed his ass after that too. So Jeremy Garcia, if you're still out there, you're a lying ass boy. He told the teacher, and then Jeremy Garcia, he was smaller than me though. So man.
You said Ryan Garcia?
Jeremy Garcia.
Uh,
Yeah, man. He lied and told the teacher that I spit on him, and then like I was talking noise, I wasn't. I was a very peaceful child, you know what I'm saying? And but after that, then the teacher got mad at me or like said something to me, and like one of his little friends like corroborated the story. Yeah, he did spit on him. I was like, all right. So then Jeremy got body slammed. So I was like,
you was black, brother.
exactly, man. That's what it was. But
Was you the only black kid in the class, or was
shit, I was like one of three for sure. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of us. It wasn't a lot of us.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a school for like fine arts and shit though. Performing arts. It wasn't like
Now look at you performing art.
you feel me?
Hey, Tupac.
Oh, keep that name up because it's coming up soon. So what was I about to say? I think we've all been there. Sometimes again, those situations are, I'm not gonna say minor, but compared to this situation, it really literally tarnished this man's career, like to the point where his own family, I'm sure, was questioning him. His friends was questioning him. His fans, you know, he lost deals. Like people just stopped messing with him because of that. And it's unfortunate because it's unfortunate just how it went. It's just like, had that would have happened now, I think that he might have been able to recover a little better now than back then. But I think now it's just unfortunate because he looked, he looked youthful. That's good. He ain't aged bad or nothing. So I'm just believing that in this era, somebody can get his career revived, and maybe he needed that time away from the spotlight to get himself together.
That's right. I mean, and maybe he's more mentally mature than I am. Because when he was talking about it, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's spilled milk." I ain't gonna lie. If a T lied on me and said I was doing something freaky with them and I lost my career, it wouldn't be no spilled milk. It wouldn't be no chill. I'd be on 10 every day for the rest of my life until somebody pay for that shit, bro.
What?
Now that leads to the next segment easily. WWID. What would I do in this situation? So that perfectly. That's what you said you would do. As far as me, I've been in a not like that, but I've been in some scandals before where people lied and lied and lied, and everybody believed it, and it just went here, there, and everywhere. The beautiful thing about it is it don't happen when you want it to, but it eventually comes out that it was a lie. Now, in this case, I believe that with him, I just, it's unfortunate because I just feel like it could have, I don't know. I just don't see why it took that long for people to, why would Sidney come out and say it didn't happen and then nobody believe it? Would they thought Chingy paid him off? I mean, paid Sidney off?
Yeah, and probably, people like the internet, man. They want to like have whatever they have in their head or like whatever notion they have in
more
their head.
entertaining. The lie is more entertaining. Bro.
Yeah, the lie is always gonna be better than the truth. So it's like, nah, like you really did sleep with him, her. What? I'm sorry if I'm messing up their thing, but him, they, them. So like, of course, if he come out later and say, it was a lie, I made it up, everybody's gonna be like, all right, bro.
Too late.
Yeah, too late. We already ran with the lie. That's what we believe now.
I got a question though. What was the recent music Chingy was putting out?
He said I think New Birth or something that he's putting out on the 19th.
No, he was saying that she messed up his rollout or his music or his career. Wasn't his career already kind of like?
I think back then it was at a weird time because it was like 2009, 2010. So that's why I said this would have happened now. I think he would have been able to recover from Sidney's, lie. But I'm happy that Sidney did. At least she came out and said, hey, look, it was a lie. I mean, unfortunately, like he said, it was spilled milk, but I get what you're saying. But when it's spilled, it's like it's nothing I can do. You just got to clean it up.
Spilled milk. You got to sue her.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Go crazy. I'm going in. Because I'm pretty sure she got a level of fame after that. Was she famous before that? Like when
Sidney was on like a few shows.
Yeah, so yeah, she about to give me all that little show residual money. Whatever she getting from it, I'm getting this money.
Johnny Depp sued Amber Heard for all the money he missed out on Pirates of the Caribbean. She suing for all the money I missed out on not performing right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he missed out on tour money.
You did?
All right, WWJD, what would Jesus do? Now, In this situation, we
He is
always
funny.
say what is the most morally and ethically the most correct thing to do, right? So in this situation, I believe that Chingy handled it the most, the best way, moral wise.
Yeah.
Because he could have handled it way different, and I think that he did the best that was for his peace because he didn't crash out. He wasn't strung out on drugs. He was on a TV show. He was on a reality show some years ago.
Was it
And
on VH1?
I think so, and I think they brought it up on there. Um, so I think that was good. Sometimes you just need to discuss things, but it's good to see that now people are still are finally believing him. I mean, unfortunately, it took all these years, but as I said at the beginning, it's gonna come out eventually. It was a lie. And sometimes I hate to throw people under the bus right now, but
Do
how
it.
some of these rappers that's getting thrown in this, Diddy case allegedly, they keep making tweets about it, and it's like it's making it worse. Just relax.
Like who? The boy said, "Ooh, I like it. So good."
Well, who have you seen?
Meek Mill one. That boy, look, anybody who is trying to beat an allegation of you not something you tweeting out,
The
ooh,
chaser of dreams.
I like coochie so much, it's so good to me. That's not gonna convince nobody that and if you dabble in the other side, if you like the stick talk, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That boy at all.
Before I ask Keith his opinion, so then based on what you're saying, don't you think Chingy handled it the right way?
Yeah, it was definitely like I said earlier. He was like that was very mentally mature of him to handle it that way. Like because I remember when all that came out, but I don't remember him. And it was a while ago, but I don't remember him making a big fuss about it or like attacking her, like her, you know what I'm saying, like that, like going hard. So, and maybe because like we're in a different time of internet now, so like everybody gets to see your responses more than he could back then. But I think he handled it well though. He that was a stand up job. I would have done that because I'm not as mature as him.
Keith, what you
You
got
have
to
to sue her. Simply.
Keith, what you
Say again.
Great segue. WSMD. What should men do in this situation? So he's either one of two things you can do, and then we're gonna go to the next topic. We heard pull the Chingy, fly above the haters, or pull the key and sue. All right.
Got it.
Good stuff. Now let's go to the next topic for the day. So, okay, so NLE Choppa, he's been doing a lot, and we're gonna look at it.
I want to fuck me
Huh?
too. That was my shit. That's my
We're
shit.
gonna look at it. Okay. NLE Choppa strips off naked to recreate iconic Tupac bathtub photo shoot. This is from Karan Singh, whatever. Sorry. HipHopDX.com. NLE Choppa paid his tribute to Tupac in a new photo shoot to stir up excitement for his latest single, which itself has caused quite a bit of controversy. On Wednesday, the Tennessee native shared a photograph of himself in a bathtub with his crotch covered in jewelry, alluding to a 1996 photo series of the late California rapper by David LaChapelle. The 21-year-old who is currently promoting his new Slut Me Out 2 because he didn't get it enough the first time, partnered up with the Lab Dug Boots for the vibrant visuals, which he can be seen wearing the product in the photographs. And here we see the correlation between him and Tupac and the bath scene. The Tupac looked AI and he looked a little bit like a cover girl. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, so now let's go back through the cycle. What does this have to do with mental health? So let me give my take on that. As we know, the definition of mental health is one of the definitions is the study of how we act, think, and feel. And most people have wondered what possessed NLE Choppa to do those pictures because some people were saying, oh, it's the feminization of men thing that they're trying to do, or he's paying ode to Tupac. And so my thing is, where do I want to go with this? The pictures are very risque. That's the word I'm gonna use today. But Tupac did it first. So if it's risque for an elite chopper, it's risque for Tupac as well. Although Tupac wasn't grunting and grinding on stage. So what's your take on that before I go to the next thing I gotta say? Dancing just like that.
If I was a bad bitch, I want to fuck me too. Listen, I think it's strictly for the women. The women they want to see the extraness, the body. He feel like he got a good body. He want to show it off. I feel like when Tupac did it, it was a different era. 90s was a different era. It was a bunch of different ass was on TV in the 90s. So it's just, I think it's a more PC era as far as NLE Choppa is concerned. So it's a bigger deal. But when Tupac did it, it was like, oh my God, Tupac. Why can't it be women saying, oh my God, NLE, I want you to slip me out too? No pun intended.
I mean, they throwing bras on stage.
They throwing bras and panties on stage with him humping he humping the air.
He was doing that?
Huh?
He does that. Choppa does, like, he be humping the air and stuff.
Yeah, he sings the song and he does like a Zoolander walk and he starts humping the air and he says, if I was a bad bitch, I want to fuck me too.
I mean, shit. Get your shit off, man. I mean, everybody else getting theirs off. Why not, right? I mean, it is what it is. I think I think I kind of got like opposite thought about that because I think it's not as PC now. Like back then when that shit came out, I'm pretty sure that was like early 90s when Tupac did his
96.
People was like, oh, that probably was like shocking to people. Like now, actually, you see it kind of just like he wilding. Cause that's not the craziest thing he done done. He done a lot of other crazy shit. So that, and you can literally go on Twitter right now and watch porn. So I don't think him in a tub with some chains over his meat is like that crazy. He just wants attention, of course. And if you were an entertainer, you need to do stuff to garner attention. And him evoking the spirit of Tupac is that's what's gonna help him. I guess he'll use that because a lot of his fans, I'm sure, probably they don't remember that they're young as hell. He's only 21, so like they're super young. So maybe that gives shines a light on like older hip hop stuff. So they go back and look at people who like Izzy was saying like Tupac did it first. They can go back and start looking at all those like kind of iconic pictures and photos that we grew up looking at.
Izzy, you got one of them photos?
I don't. I don't.
Wow, boy.
You will have one before me.
Facts. He got a couple. He got one. Actually, he probably got one like a Christmas one, like a Santa Claus outfit with a little gift around his like a little box.
Cause cause Shannon Sharp would do it, and Shannon Sharp is your kin. Now, what would I do in this situation? So again, if we looking at, I don't think anybody here would take a picture in the bathtub. I don't think.
Kirk definitely would.
Man, look. It's like, what's the vibe? Like, is it about my like me like that with the chains, or like is it some ladies, or is it like what's up? Just bubbles and suds, or like what's going on?
Okay, Kirk would do a bunch of candy canes for Christmas.
Chill.
let's extract the theme here. So again, doing things for shock value. That's basically what he did. Not saying he didn't want to do it, but he did it for shock value. And so with that, I think that you made the comment, Kirk, when you said people do stuff as an entertainer, you have to do stuff for some type of attention. But what happens when that attention goes wrong? So in this case, I'm not gonna say it went wrong because he may not care. Some people don't care. Some people think that all publicity is good publicity. And I don't believe that. But in the same breath, I do agree that you have to do something to stand out. but what if it compromises your morals? Not saying this did for him, but what if it does? Just hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's just something you gotta think about. I mean, I think that comes with like age, right? Like I said, he's 21. He definitely not thinking about it. And I mean, and actually, I think I mean, we can separate it. So entertainers, they live by a different set of rules and moral conduct, right? So they have to they don't have to, they choose to do things that's probably not going to be looked at in the best light, aka Kim Kardashian, right? Like it was that episode on their show where the son like found her sex tape or found like pictures of her sex tape, right? And that shit happens and it's going to like it was like she knew at some point that was going to happen, right? But she still decided to do it because said it got her to where she is, and like it garnered her millions and millions and millions of dollars. So you kind of got to make that choice. You know, do I want to sell my soul to like get this fame and notoriety? But for people who just like regular people and they do dumb shit on the internet, like you see like on Twitter and stuff all day, that's dumb. Like people who do like racist shit, then they get fired from a job and like all kind of crazy shit. Then that's when you start to be like, all right, that was stupid as hell.
All right, Keith, anything you want to add to that?
I definitely agree. I think when it's all about entertainment, it's all that matters. You do whatever the thing to get you going viral for the day, the thing to get you going viral for the week. You know, like I think it's all about we're in a viral society. Even our podcast is more likely you want to go viral. You want to go viral for a clip. You want to go viral for a certain moment. And I think when you are a rapper, entertainer, it's certain things that like, how can I go viral this week? And I think that's the society we live in now. Like, and I can't knock it. He capitalizes on it. Like that's so that the words he's saying in the song, the things he's doing when he performs it, it's capitalizing on the viral opportunity. Everything is about being viral now. So I'm not surprised. I personally with it.
You said what?
I personally like it. I personally like the song.
So you basically just letting us know here live on camera that you're gonna be humping the air when they come on. Got it.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. 2 shots in, you might see me do it now. You know what I mean?
Okay. WWJD. Obviously. So I think that again, everyone's morals is different. There's a standard of morals we should abide by, but of course, everybody's morals is different, or what they consider morals. It is what it is. I'm not here to do that. But what I will say is, if it's something you don't want to do, don't do it. And if you're gonna do, and I hate this is probably a terrible example, but I think of those movies where they would have the girls come to the back and they're like, "Oh, you want to go far? You're gonna have to do something for me." And then she start crying, and then she start like undressing. That's what I think about when I see some of these people do some of the things they do, men included.
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying NLE Choppa, but just saying people in general. Like you can tell, like they ain't want to do that. They told them, "You want to get far? This is what you got to do."
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like he wanted to do it personally.
I do too.
Yeah, just from seeing the certain clips and the things that he says, I think he thrives on that.
He got a song called "Slut Me Out," and them lyrics are graphic, and I believe he means every bit of it.
1 and 2. Don't forget 2. He got a part 2.
He said we couldn't get enough. We got to bring this back.
And you also got to think about like, all right, so he's a rapper entertainer, right? So you don't like his managers and them. They're probably calling him like, oh, hey man, we got to get some stuff moving. Like the last single ain't do good, so now we got to do something to boost it. Or the labels are probably telling him that because they like, you can't just release music and be like, oh, hey, here's my new song. Like you got to put something behind it to get the people going and have people like us talking about it on their podcast, stuff like that. Because just dropping, and I think that goes for a lot of musicians and entertainers. Like just doing the music ain't cutting it no more. You got to have something else to, go with it. And Izzy, like what you said, like you can kind of tell with some of these entertainers, like when you see them, like since everything is on the internet, you can tell they really don't be want to do some of this stuff, but they got it. They feel like they have to do it in order to get their product off the shelf.
You need a TikTok dance with your release.
Yep. Or you need a scandal. You need a, nipple need to pop out or something. You feel me?
So my suggestion to the next segment, which is WSMD, what should men do in this situation? I'm gonna just always say, don't do what you don't want to do because you're gonna regret it. Even if you don't regret it in the moment, it'll be 10, 15 years from now. You'll be on somebody's couch crying, saying you wish you wouldn't have did that. You see all these celebrities now, stuff they was doing in the 2000s and the 90s. They now coming out saying like, man, I wish I didn't do that. I didn't want to do that, but the label said if I ain't do that. See, because when you sell out once, you do it again. So be yourself, and that's easier said than done. But I just really suggest that you only do what you want to do. And in this case, he might look back later and say, "I wish I didn't do that." But in the same breath, if he wanted to do it, cool, you know. But it's just like, you taking these pictures, and it's just like. But then, like Keith said, you doing it for the women, but you have to remember, like we talked about with the OnlyFans episode.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes when does it go too far to where it's just like you gonna be all on the internet? What your kids gonna say? Your mother.
Hey, you think Nelly regrets making tip drill?
No.
Well, he had those court case situations.
Like about some like assault or something?
I don't remember. It was in the 2000s. I remember he did the credit card swipe down the girl butt, and I remember
classic, iconic.
This is cinema.
I think she took him to court or something. I think it was a whole thing. Even though I think she said she wanted it, and then so I think to him to do it, and then they it was a whole court case. I actually need to look that up.
Yeah, man.
You ever seen those memes like which video would you want to recreate? I would want to recreate that.
That was a lot going on.
A tip drill.
No, that part specifically, just like you seen those memes where it's like, would you want to create this with your partner? And I feel like I want to recreate that. Be like,
well, listen, it might be in the future for you. It just looks like something you might do. Okay. Now let's move on to the final topic for the day. So we're not gonna play the songs, and if you haven't heard them, they're on YouTube. So originally today's episode was gonna center around Chris Brown's diss to Quavo, and I'm still gonna unpack just a few of the lyrics, not all of them because we don't have time for that, but just ones that really stuck out the most to me. But breaking news, Quavo dropped the diss right before I got on, so I was able to listen to it, and then I've got some of the lyrics for that too. So let's look at the Chris Brown's diss first, and then the part that I really want to see, and then we're gonna get to the rest. We're gonna look at Quavo's. We're gonna talk about his, then we're gonna look at Quavo's because Quavo is actually the rapper, but Chris Brown was rapping too. So
Chris Brown got that shit, man.
Yeah, that wasn't Chris Brown. That was Breezy. That's what somebody said.
Yeah. People forget Chris Brown has rap albums, like mixtapes and shit that they like back in like 2012, 11, 10. He had a couple joints, man. He got some shit.
Now, this is the part that stood out the most to me. He said, quit trying to be tough. You ain't like that. Why you keep showing off? Quit talking about drugs. You the only pack I've been smoking on. I just hit my plug, told him, come back. I need more than one. Your last album was a weed trade, just some BS that we roll up on. Then he made the sexy red noises. Then it said, you know it's on. Put you to bed. Night, night. That's Sudafed. Show me that I'm tender. Time to prove what you just said. Rest in peace, Takeoff. He only real when they got true respect. Crazy how when he died, everybody really wished it was you instead.
That was it.
All right. What does this have to do with mental health? So first of all, Chris Brown had enough. And what started it? I didn't get a chance to do a deep dive as to what started the beef. Does anybody know?
Vagina.
Okay. And this is why they tell you to watch who you be having sex with because of stuff like this. Now y'all dissing and the girl just sitting there looking like.
I think she got a restraining order on CB. That's the crazy thing about it.
It's crazy. So yeah,
he beefing over a chick that got a restraining order on him. That's wild.
So then we'll have to ask you, like, where is Chris Brown at mentally? Because one thing about me,
out of there. Been that way for a minute too.
I always defend Chris Brown, honestly. I think that he has a good heart. I don't think he makes the best choices. I don't think he's a bad person, but he don't make the best choices. And everybody beefing. Like, what's up with that? Why is everybody beefing? Who I need to beef with?
Man. it's going. And for Chris Brown, I think I mean I don't know him or anything like that, but I know it's hard for a kid. He was a kid when he came in, right? So it's a lot. It was a lot of shit going on with him. So being a kid, getting all that fame, you got the money, you got the drugs, you got the women, you got all that shit. It's all wrapped up. Like I don't think most people couldn't handle that. Like most people couldn't do it. Now, there's no excuse for the other things he's done as far as like the abuse or whatever stuff like that. But as far as just his mental state, period, and that I'm pretty like, even though that was traumatic for her, I'm pretty sure that was traumatic for him as well because they both were doing whatever they was doing, and like after that, you kind of when you get this whole, which he was for a couple years, it's like fuck the world mentality where you kind of just like everybody don't fuck with me and everybody hate me, then it's fuck everybody. And then that kind of make you spiral and then you just take off from there. And ever since then, he really, and like you said, he seemed like he got a good heart. Like he's not like hella rude to fans. He don't be like, doing all that kind of stuff. But when he got you in his on his red dot, he ain't, it's over with.
I feel like this is the only beef that's gonna get violent. He's too unpredictable. Out of all the beefs right now, rap beef, this is the only one that may get violent. What's the last time they beefed over girl Drake and Chris Brown? They was throwing bottles in the club.
And Tony Parker got hit.
Tony Parker got hit with a bottle.
You hit the little Frenchman.
Quavo said, "Next time you see me, keep the same energy." So pray for LA.
Well, see, look. So y'all doing all the segues perfectly today. So now let's look over what Quavo had to say. Now, first of all, the art is him with Chris Brown.
The shit out of him.
Now it's a part I really want to go to. First of all, Takeoff is on the song. For those that don't know, Takeoff has passed away. So the fact that he got Takeoff on the song is wild to me. But
you think he did that get like some I don't want to say sympathy, but like the, you know what I'm saying, to get the people like, oh damn, it's Takeoff, like to make people like him more.
Chris Brown mentioned Takeoff on the last record. He said he wished it was you that should have died or something.
Yeah.
Of course I'm gonna get a Takeoff verse and put it on here.
So let's read through this. It says, why they got Quavo out here going back and forth with a singer that turned to a junkie, never got light skin versus brown skin, nigga finna divide the country. Nigga, you ain't been in the trenches. We stump in the yard. You know how that ended. Want smoke with me, always beating, fighting over hoes. Who gassed you up to put that out? Yeah, that was shitty, nigga. I can take a model and make a sweetie, nigga. Crackhead Michael Jackson, you better beat it, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm still effed up about Takeoff. I want who did it, nigga.
Yeah.
But that's for some street stuff back to the industry. Where your baby mamas that know that they got plenty tea. Pussy, every time you see me, keep that energy. Can't believe I gotta beat you about some woman beef. Now the last line wasn't the best, but the other lines was pretty heat. Quavo put his foot in that. I find it interesting again that Quavo said he had enough. Everybody had enough, and then they just said, "I'm just unloading the clip,
jumping out the window."
Do you based just opinion wise before we move to the next segment? Who do y'all think won that?
People saying Chris Brown, but I personally don't care. I think Quavo has made the better songs. Personally, like I would listen to Quavo. It sounds like a Migos song. It sounds like a Migos song. So I like the Quavo. Like
that's what they said. That's why you got to take off on there.
Or something like
okay, let's play a game of compare.
It's all
let's
over the
compare
place,
songs.
I'm more.
So let's compare songs. Quavo's diss or J. Cole's diss?
Don't even mention him.
Why?
Izzy.
Why?
He eliminated himself from all discussions of anything. He took his shit. He don't have a diss. What diss you talking about? Because he took it off his album. So I don't know which one do you speak of.
I have to stick on this because yeah, he dissed, but what I will say, people like it's just rap. But when he basically said he was a follower. He started being a follower, and that was just eating away at him. And we've all done something that we shouldn't have did, let people gas our head up that you didn't want to do, and you did, and like, why I do that?
Yeah, I never did that after I'd already gassed everybody else up to make them believe that I was something that I'm not. Though.
He made a mistake.
He got his steak was too tender for his ass. He should have made some pork chops instead of making mistakes.
I hope he see this, and I hope he make a diss about you.
Good. He gonna take that out too. He'll be like, "I'm sorry, I should have done that, young nigga. My bad." Which I had, and I'm only saying this because I was going to bat for him. I'm not a super diehard J. Cole fan, but as Keith knows, me and Keith had arguments about this. I was like, bro, this shit's hard. Like, this shit hot. Like, whatever. Like, I didn't care about what the internet was saying. Like, oh, it's weak. I didn't think it was weak. I think it was just fire raps. And then for him to go and do that, I was kind of like, all right, bro, you're not one of them. It's fine. And everybody can't be one of them. Yeah, everybody can't be one of them. It's fine. You can be peaceful and.
So you saying that I don't mind you being peaceful. You saying you don't mind him being peaceful, but you was just like, you need to stay peaceful. And I get that, but I'm saying,
don't say I want to be peaceful, but then saying all you niggas can get it anytime. Y'all say my name, I'm coming for you, blah blah. Then yeah, no, just say, all right, yeah, we are friends, and you know what I'm saying. Like I don't really think I think I'm the best, but I don't really think I'm like that much better than y'all. Like we all can be at a spot together. You should rap like that.
I really just believe that he just let his emotions get the best of him, and people have been coming at him for years, and he ignored it, and he finally fed into it and was like, "Why I do that?" So, anybody out there, if you feel like you about to feed into something, don't do it because you really don't want to, and that's okay.
I personally don't think that warranted a response. Like the Kendrick Lamar verse did not warrant a J. Cole response, at least. Because he wasn't really shooting at J. Cole. He wanted, like, it was J. Cole, and then it was Drake behind him. He was like, move to the side. I want your mans. I don't want you. I want the dude behind you.
Like they say, oh, damn, you was in the car when I shot it up. I ain't even know. Like, my bad. I ain't even know you was in the car. But, you know, shit got shot up still.
WWID, what would I do in this situation? So, first of all, obviously, I don't rap, but we know podcasts be dissing. And I be watching the disses. If somebody was to diss me, I just at this point in my life, I don't see myself just going back and forth with you. We've seen the greats do it. We've seen Joe Budden and Charlamagne go back and forth. We see a lot of these newer people do it. Like I see the dude Cooley from the No Fugazi podcast went back and forth with Jeremy Holloway, and then he went again with Mr. Let It Go. And then I've seen the old. I'm not gonna say he was the blueprint for my podcast, the Roommates podcast. They weren't the blueprint, but they definitely was a lot of inspiration. They're no longer a podcast now.
Damn.
But I know Hafiz, he actually went to a debate, and the people, huh?
I'm laughing at Keith to my damn.
Yeah, you know they want a podcast no more.
No, I didn't know that they were beefing over.
You said what?
That's what they actually beefing over.
He said he didn't know what they was beefing over.
Hear me?
I don't think they was beefing. I think he just said that they decided to just let it go, and do their own thing, and that's just kind of where they at with it. But what I will say is, if somebody beef with me, I'm gonna get something off of it. And what I would do, in this case, they rappers a little different, but me personally, I'm not going back and forth with nobody on no podcast. Me, I'm gonna be like, let's sit down and have a discussion on camera. Yeah. That's what I would do, because we not finna fight. I'm not finna let you rile me up, and then I gotta say something I gotta apologize for. So we're gonna have a discussion on the podcast. We're gonna call it a day. Let's get some content out of it. That's how I look at it. And some of these podcasters, even rappers, be in cahoots, and they don't think I know, but I know.
Facts. That's why when you said you're like, why is everybody beefing right now? Like, I think it's something going on where it's like, all right, now everybody just decided they want to start beefing. Now, I know that one Kendrick verse didn't have everybody just that riled up. It wasn't like that crazy for everybody to start going crazy, but you know, it's the industry. But for me, podcasts, like you said, I'm not a rapper, but podcasts, like if somebody was like talking shit or like trying to beef, like I'm indulging in it because I'm here for the jokes and I'm here for the shit. So definitely, like I would never beef. So like I would never beef with like Keith. Like if me and Keith had a falling out, like I would never do that shit like on a podcast or like publicly, nothing like that. Weird, like how Joe Budden and his people, like how they kind of go back and forth. And like if something like that happened with me and Keith, God forbid, knock on wood, it wouldn't like nobody ever know. We'd just the podcast would be over and then it'd be done. Like it just wouldn't exist anymore. And that's all people would know. But other podcasts, like if we, you know what I'm saying, it was like some beef and somebody trying to engage or some shit like that. Yeah, let's get it. Hey, let's get it, bro.
Y'all petty. I feel like y'all will go back and forth. WWJD. Keith will go back and forth. I believe if y'all got dissed by some podcasters or they took a clip that y'all said and like you know how they do the reactions, they had a clip of something you said and they react to it. I feel like y'all will respond.
It's been some people like on TikTok sometime, like when a couple of months ago we released some shit and they like do something, I'll be like, should we go in? But I'd be like, nah, I'm chill because those are like people who actually watch. So them watching and doing that's fine. But it's like another podcast who like says some shit, blah, blah. Oh yeah, we going in, making 10 straight videos, all dedicated to their ass.
I think you have a choice. You have a choice to either be like, what would J. Cole do? Or what would Drake do? I'm just saying. Just saying. You got two options.
Clips.
Well, in my case, I believe again with the whole in this segment, obviously WWJD, not J. Cole, because J. Cole rebuttal. Granted, I understand, but
that don't count no more.
But anyway,
in
this situation, if you was doing a thing that was like you know morally, you know the best choice in that area, there are ways to have healthy debates and there are ways to have healthy conversations. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. So, like I said, I'm the type, I'm going to show you how we can do that. Because, like I said, I can debate and I can argue. So, we can do both. It's a difference.
So, you would invite them on the platform.
Yeah, that's what I would have did. I would have said, let's talk about it. Because I'm not finna get no shade room. I'm not finna get on Instagram, open up my live, hollering, spitting, screaming the camera for free. If I'm going to say, and no, the shade room can repost it. No, I'm finna bring you over to somebody's platform. We going to do it like that. And why am I? Because that's free. You're not getting money for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to doing that either.
We're like Soulja Boy and then be screaming on IG Live. Like,
yes,
you ain't no gangster.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I feel like in my life, for those that don't know, but if you know, you know, I used to be into people a lot of my life. I don't give people that for free no more because I didn't feel like I didn't put on enough shows for free. So yesterday's price is not today's price. So I'm not giving nobody no show for free. Like I said, if you want me to get active, I need to be on a TV show. I need to be on. Don't let me get on one of them little game shows on Netflix. It's a wrap.
What do you mean, like Love Is Blind type shit?
Yeah.
Well, they had them. They got The Trust. They got The Circle. The Circle is cool.
Yeah.
What's The Circle?
The Circle is basically like a social media game where like you can either go in as yourself or you can go in as a catfish and you can actually be 100% yourself or you can lie about your occupation and you basically everybody's in the same apartment complex, but y'all all in your own apartments by yourself. And y'all basically like play the game of The Circle and you play different games, get to know people, build alliances, and then you can like block people out the circle and then to whoever win 100,000. But see, this ain't, the olden days like Flavor Love out of New York where they had to keep doing club appearances to get their time. You get 4 or 5 episodes and you on there popping.
Yeah.
You got a following because you on a hit show. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to win. So I told myself I ever go on a show like that, or what's the other one? Big Brother girl from TSU. I know she was on Big Brother, and she from St. Louis. if I ever went on a show like that, if it's 12 episodes, I need to be on 7. And I'm been
That's bruh. That's what I was saying about the people on Love Is Blind. They be like, "Oh, why do they wait so long to tell a girl?" And I'm like, "Dog, you're dumb. If I went on a show like that, I'm going to try to maximize all the time I can on the TV screen. So I will wait up to the last episode to be like, oh no, I don't want to get married to you no more. Be the villain. Like, why would you cut yourself out early, bro? That's stupid. Like, stay on to as long as you can. Shit,
Nah, that was wrong though. He let that girl go to the altar, man.
and
She had on a wedding dress.
she decided to put that on herself. He ain't make her.
niggas be like,
shouldn't have got engaged to a nigga you known for 10 minutes.
WSMD, what's your man doing in this situation? So as you know, y'all, every week we unpack Mental Man Mondays, situations going on, what men doing in the world, and what we would do in these situations, because things do happen. But I think that in this situation, if somebody dissing you, everybody's not a rapper, but somebody might publicly diss you on social media. Somebody might be publicly dissing you to other people. It's sometimes, like I said, you can have a healthy conversation, maybe reach out to the person to see like what's going on. Or in my case, people have tried to get me to talk to certain people, but I'm off having conversations, but you also have to know who you're dealing with. And some people don't want to talk. So it don't matter what you can do, what you want to do. You have to understand some people ain't trying to hear it. Some people just don't want to talk. They want to keep doing what they're doing. So something I've mastered at this age, old age of 29, is let people have it. Let them look stupid. You know how many times people look stupid and ask me about somebody, and I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen them." And the whole time that person is dragged, like I mean, going in. And I'd be like, "Oh, I haven't seen them." They look stupid because now the person in the middle, I know for a fact, is like, "Okay, well, he's saying all this, but Izzy over here like they don't know what's going on, even though I know exactly what's going on, but I'm just gonna make you look stupid."
So you saying avoid the drama?
Like I said, if you want drama, I got to get a check.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's like depends. Like if it's like real smoke, like if it's some real shit, like where it's like somebody you really know, and then or if you really know them or not. If it's real and you know it's like something real behind it, then I think, you know what I'm saying, if there's something you want to mend in a relationship or come to understanding, I guess you can have a conversation. But if it's like something that you're not really taking too serious, you're not gonna put a lot of energy in, I'm with the bullshit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think never give your energy to something that doesn't really mean shit. If you keep giving your energy to pointless things, then you'll be exhausted at the end of the day. I agree. Like you should definitely have the certain things that you address, like that you hold value to, but somebody that you probably not gonna talk to in 2 years. Wow.
Right. And also weighing people's motives, because you have to see some people got ulterior motives. They be doing stuff for a reason, or if they might maybe trying to make you look crazy. And it's just you really have to weigh your options. So I just say, if you feel like dealing with all that stress, cool. Because I mean, you're gonna do what you want to do. But I would suggest that, and when I say get a check, that don't mean somebody send me $100K, argue with them. But what I'm saying is, I don't know, that's a lot of money. But what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna just do it for free. And I'm the type with my brand and things. I kind of you kind of have to stay on topic on brand. And I had this as one of my work tips on my vlog, stand on brand. And that's an ambiguous statement. But the thing I'm saying is, if I have a mental health podcast, it's all about having healthy conversation, right? So what I look like, hollering, spitting, and screaming on camera, that's gonna be like, what you got going on? Now, some other people might can get away with that, but I still say, if you feel like dealing with that drama because you never gonna win, you gotta understand there are gonna be people committed to misunderstanding you. There's gonna be people that's always gonna say you wrong, no matter if you right. You can prove them right, they'll still say you wrong. So, in short, be at peace. And if you're not at peace,
Fuck them.
well, that. But I was gonna say, call on the Lord.
That too.
So this has been a good one. Anything else y'all want to plug or say before y'all go?
Shit. Go check out the podcast. I Had This Friend podcast, man. Check out the episode we had with Izzy and all the other ones. I just got back from vacation, so we coming back real soon to shoot some more for y'all, get some more content out there. Yeah. again, I have this friend podcast on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Like, subscribe. Do all that. Leave comments. Tell
All
Keith.
one word.
Tell Keith how
All
thick
one word.
how thick he getting, because he like to hear shit like that.
I'm about to get on Ozempic.
You about to get on diabetes medicine?
You know I ain't doing that shit. Izzy, the girls love color with something thick at night.
Anyway, but before we go, in case y'all haven't seen, I was on their podcast, I Have a Friend's podcast. It was a great episode. It was the perfect blend of what I do, education and laughter, because I can't be one of the yeah, you can't get what I'm trying to say. You gotta have a balance, and that's what I'm all about. Even today was definitely a nice balance.
Yeah, hey, bro, I've been to tell you that a lot of people was hitting that. They was like, y'all need to do more like this, blah, blah, blah. Because they was like, how, they want as like you said, a side of the serious and the real talk with, the comedy and, stuff like that too.
I want some balance.
Yeah, man. So,
well, what I could suggest for that, matter of fact, I ain't giving any people nothing. I'm going to tell y'all off camera.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all we got for today. PSA signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you. And remember, I love us for real.